93, wind 0506, runway 4 left, set for takeoff.
010, 5006, takeoff, 4 left, United 010, 5000, here we go.
And flight level 220, and the maintain is 239.87. So they got. Here you go, son. Yeah, boy. New York, United 75. All right, thank you, I got it.
American 11 looking at possible hijack, maybe going back to Kennedy. They said they heard something that there might be intrusion into the cockpit. All right, just let me know if you hear anything unusual. Right. If I'm smoking 7,500.
Nice, that's what I'll keep in mind.
All right, keep an eye on it.
Will do.
What's going on?
We got a hijack. It's a Nike hijack. I don't know. It's American 11. Going down.
You got a hijack?
I don't know. Yeah, hijack. It's 40 years. I don't know. I'm going to tell you. I just got to watch it. So, Chris, you got that? Yeah, 175 heavy. New York. Go ahead.
Kennedy like 15 southbound, descending of American 11. We're not sure what the possible hijacking. We're not sure. Pass.
All right, United 175 heavy. I'll pass along. Hold on. United 175 heavy just called and said he heard a suspicious transmission on the radio as he was flying out of Logan. He said something about everybody stay in your seats. He doesn't know who it came from, but it came out, and he said he just heard it as he was climbing out.
United 175?
175 heavy, yes.
What about
American 11 still, it's nothing. It's just still going slow. You know, he might be going into Newark or Kennedy or something. I don't know. I have no idea.
Make this turn, for those of you on the left side of the airplane, has a beautiful view of lower Manhattan and New York City skyline.
Looks nice out there.
What do you mean there's no one there? Oh, you guys must have a backup?
Whatever information they got to give it to us right away.
Hijack controller, no one at the desk. No backup. It's like they're on vacation. There's no backup. There's no one at the desk.
Who are you talking to downstairs?
I'm talking to this guy. He's in the conference room. There's nobody else in there. I'm relaying the information, and then he's moving to try to get tapes. Boston Center got the tapes pulled. He said, we have some planes. That's what he said. We have some planes. That was the suspicious transmission. Is there any voice recognition?
Right.
Red Express 77, maintain 10,000, Kennedy altimeter 2992.
Delta 351, altimeter 2992. Chilling 4369, New York, altimeter 2992.
American 11, possible hijacking. American 11, southbound 767. Nobody's talking to him. I just called the room up, and I let them know about it.
You're not tracking either, right? Last time,
11 New York.
Hi guys, Merry Christmas. That is the amount of traffic that's going on a small by road on a Christmas day. That no supermarkets are open, no shops are open, nowhere is open. I know. I'm just going down to the cardio, guys. Just give me 1 second. Like that, the traffic is still going there now at the minute. I lived above in County Loud for years, not far from the main Dublin-Belfast main road. And on a Christmas day, you might see 1 car an hour, or maybe 1 car every 2 hours. The amount of vehicles there at the start of this video was 5 minutes, within 5 minutes. Now, I know people has to go and see their relatives or their relations or whatever, but you don't have that amount of traffic on the road in 5 minutes. That's 5 minutes I was filming out onto the road there, and the amount of traffic and cars and vehicles and all the rest of it. There was 1 black Jeep that was staying, and he was straight. It was a straight run where he was coming from straight down, but of course he had to slow up, and when he seen me video and he speeded up and went on then. This is the, what would you call it? The Stasi type tactics that they use. Have they no families to go to, or have they no homes to go to, or no relations to see, or nothing? But for the amount of traffic out there, it's ridiculous. Like in a small, there's 1 pub and 1 shop in this village, and then everywhere's closed. And then you go out to Coothill and everywhere's closed out there. You go into Monaghan, everywhere's closed out there. So like, who the fuck do you think is are fooling or codding, you know, with your organised harassment, stalking and harassment and illegal activities, you know? Who do you think is all codding or trying to cod? Not me, anyhow. But that's it. Last year was the exact same. The traffic, red and car, red and white. Now you're getting a variety of different yokes there today. They're going to mix it up. But last year was red, white and blue. Now they're mixing it up this year with black, red, white, blue, whatever it is. But basically they're the main colours they usually stick to. But most of these people, I think, or some of them or a lot of them, are not civilians. They're not ordinary civilian people. Yesterday we were pulled. Oh, Merry Christmas. Did I say that, guys? Merry Christmas. Ho, 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 and all that. I hope Santa came and all the rest of it. Yesterday we were pulled in by the police on the false pretenses that we stole something out of Asda. Now, Asda has a security system in place where if you walk through the door with anything, the alarm goes off. We're not thieves. We don't know how to get around that. We don't even look into it. We don't even look into it. But you're only out, like, you're a minute sitting in the car then when you get the Alexa, when you get the Alexa, this crap up here, you know what I'm saying? I don't know whether you can see that there. They're right brushing the slats up the top, but this is the crap you get, you know what I'm saying? But most people for a Christmas Day has everything set up for Christmas Day. You have your shopping, all your shopping done, you have your groceries done, you have your presents bought or whatever it is. And most people, 99% of people, has everything organised 2 or 3 days before Christmas Day, so they don't have to go out. All they have to do is to have everything there. Everything's there now, so they don't have to go out. They can enjoy their family, their friends, or whatever they call or whatever, surely, and do your thing. But not when you're a targeted individual. I lived on the main Dublin road, Belfast Dublin road, for years, and you might see 1 to 2 cars in an hour on the main Belfast to Dublin road. There's absolutely nothing around here. For the amount of traffic that's on the road, it's abnormal. It's harassment and stalking. That's what it is. Stasi tape harassment and stalking. That's what they're at. Noise harassment. Basically, with the noise harassment, with the banging and Mr. Campbell over here, frozen foods, everything's grand and quiet until you come out. Next minute they'll slam a pallet down on the ground, or they'll slam a pallet, or noise harassment, or someone you're walking past there, you have noise harassment as well. The noise harassment is to try and keep your cortisol levels up and to keep you on edge and stuff like that there. You know, there's a wee bit more into it than that there, but it's basically to keep your cortisol levels up, your sugar levels up and that, which is not good for you, you know what I'm saying? But it's that's what it is. That's basically what it is. There's the Campbell's place over here, the food butcher. If it's not, it's. But yeah, it is a working factory, and we know it's a working factory. But the amount of noise that they create is, is unnecessary noise. It's overreacting with the noise, you know, and they know that, like. But that's what they do. They overemphasize everything. But like, again, place a pallet on the ground, throw it on the ground, surely. But you know the difference in that and pallets and stuff like that been slammed down hard on the ground. That's creating excess noise, you know. Keep your cortisol levels up, keep your nerves on edge, to keep you on edge, you know what I'm saying? Keep you nervous, you know, keep your insulin levels up, you know, cortisol levels up, insulin levels up and all that. This is all bad for you in the long run. It's okay. It's all right in the short term. But when this is kept up on you for a long time period, it's bad for your body. It deteriorates your body. You know, too much sugar in your system, too much insulin in your system. Your kidneys then hard to filter this. And when there's too much sugar in your body, they get hard to filter. But any TIs out there that's taking sugar or taking energy drinks or taking any of this stuff here, give it up completely. Do not take it, because you have enough sugar in your body. Your body is creating too much sugar if you're under stress, which you're being put under stress every day of the week. Stop taking energy drinks and stop taking sugar for a start. Now, that is one thing. I skipped from Asda yesterday. We come out of Asda. We were only just out 100 yards down the road, pulled in by a plainclothes police. I think it was a Vauxhall something or Skoda or something like that there. And the policeman walked up and opened the door. Now, that tactic was, he knows that we're like that I'm a bit aggressive and stuff like that there. So basically, there was no need for him to open the door. He just had to walk up. Basically, I didn't see it before. But by him opening the door was to aggravate the situation, to get my temper up. You know, I never seen it done before, but like, this is their tactics. They're trained in this. This is what they do, like, you know. But Asda has a system. You can't walk out. It's all tagged. It's all thing. Alarm. If you come out of Asda with anything, an alarm is going to go off, right? They have umpteen security guards in Asda, and they are going to grab you and phone the police until the police come or whatever the thing is. But you're not going to mess about with the security guards in Asda, because they're built like shit out, fucking brick house fucking doors, like fucking 7 foot, 6'6", like, you know, there's no way you would go through some of them, like, oh, you know, fit young fellas, strong young fellas, like, you're not going to get away from them. But that's what usually happens. If you steal something, you'll be nabbed just outside the door, not too far away. You'll be held there until the police is called. But the best bit about it is, it was just an excuse for them to pull us over. We asked them, why were we being stopped? Oh, there has been reports something stolen out of Asda or something like that there. The security guards wouldn't even have time to have rung. They wouldn't even have time to ring the police from where we got maybe 100 yards from Asda. We didn't even get 100 yards down until we were pulled over. So obviously they were waiting in the car park. We usually, anytime I'm in Asda, I always go to Asda. Usually 90% of the time, 99% of the time, we go into Asda and get a few bits there or whatever. But they know all this, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, so I says, you were waiting on us and the whole lot and this and that and that. I said, we don't know you from Adam or anything. They have my name and address, registration, colour, and the vehicle that I'm driving up on the computer from previous stops. And, you know, by saying this is pure and utter lies, like, you know. They know me. It's up on the computer. Colour of the car, what make, what reg, my name, my address, the whole works. By saying we don't know you from Adam is only an excuse to get out of telling the truth. More lies on their behalf. But then those two cops pulled us in. They called for backup and 2 more. That wasn't good enough. And then there was 3 yokes there, which was, I think, 6 or 7. There could have been 8 police officers there scattered round. And we had the road sort of blocked. Well, they pulled us in, we stopped, you know what I'm saying, we blocked. And They searched the car from top to bottom. And we were searched. I was searched from top to bottom as well. And stuff like that. But I actually think that they were in contact with the Gardaí up here about the vehicle or whatever. I don't know. I have a part-worn tyre. It's the front steering is out of alignment a slight bit. So the tyre is wore on the outside, but there's treads on the inside of it, if you know what I mean. It was partly wore. So what they done me with was a baldy tyre, which is £70, and 3 penalty points on my licence. Now, you tell me whether that's right or wrong. Now, they had the setup, that was the setup yesterday. And then what we were told then to drive down to get the congestion of the traffic, to unblock the congestion of the traffic, to drive down and round the corner, which we did do. And a certain person I know went up the footpath calling me, "You're nothing but a fucking wanker." Now, she was only on the scene, but what she automatically thought was that I was after doing something, you know. That's what her thoughts were. Send your husband up and tell him to call me a fucking wanker to me face. And we'll see what happens. That was okay. The policeman come down anyway. Whatever, you'll be getting the 3 penalty points or whatever, about the £70 or whatever. I'm not paying no £70. How can I afford? If I could afford to put the fucking tyre on the car, I would have. How can I afford to pay £70 and put a tyre on the car and me on €200 a week? I have a new tyre in the boot. I told him that. I was going to get it changed on, which I was to get with the holidays, the Christmas holidays, they weren't open, which I was to get another tyre off a chap over the road, which was reasonable price and it was in good condition. And I couldn't do that with the Christmas holidays. That's okay anyway. After about an hour, I think it was standing alongside the road, with all the fucking bullshit. An hour, maybe it took an hour and a half or whatever, I'd say, alongside the road. We were told to drive on anyway. We drove up round the corner and they come back. Oh, you'll be getting that in the post, and you'll be getting this in the post, and you'll be getting the other in the post. All right, thanks very much for nothing. Basically, lads, nothing has changed. Not one thing has changed in this country from 40 years ago. If you're poor in this country, you're poor and you're going to stay poor, no matter how many jobs you have. But with the elite circle, you might have a chance of getting a few pounds. But if you're on the outside of the elite circle, you're going to get nothing. You're going to be put down and you're going to... But all the good people and all the people that stood for the right thing in this country has died for this country for absolutely nothing. That wasted their time, Lord have mercy on them. They were wasted, good men wasted. For the way that this country is in the situation that it is today. Nothing has changed. Not one thing has changed in this country. Only when you're in the know, it'll suit you. But when you're not in the know, it won't suit you. I said this 40 years ago. There's one law for you and there's another law for me. Now, I was told that was wrong. There was the same law for everything. Well, that's bullshit. Because there's a different law for him over there and there's a different law for me. There is no difference in this day and age than 40 years ago. Nothing has changed. Only the people in the know is benefiting themselves by this. And fuck everybody else. That's the way it is. They don't give a shit about man, woman, or child. And if you think they do, you're mistaken. A big mistake, that is, let me tell you, if you think that they care about you. That is one big mistake you'll be making. But actually, as what I can see in this country is that it's no better off than 40 years ago. The same thing, the exact same thing that was happening 40 years ago is still going on to this day now. But there's no war going on as such, that's all. But the good people is gone. The people that fought for what was right and stood for what was right is dead and buried. And the assholes that's benefiting themselves, pocketing or laying in their own pockets, is walking around happy as Larry. And if you run into any trouble or go and see anybody at all, go and see the authorities. That's what you're told. You didn't tell us that 40 years ago, go and see the authorities, did you? No? Why are you telling us now to go and see the authorities if we run into any trouble? But they have this country destroyed. It's destroyed. It's inhumane the way that the people has been dealt with. Some of the people has been dealt with. Foreign nationals staying in hotels and young Irish girls and fellas and Irish men and women sleeping on the streets and dying on the streets when the foreign nationals is living it up in hotels. Renovate a hotel for them, put them all in there, or put them in there, or put them in there. What's wrong with the Irish you can't put them in? I'll tell you what's wrong with it. They're killing the Irish off. That's what they're doing. Or trying to kill them off. Because when they say to a foreigner, jump, he's going to say, how, hey? And when you say to an Irishman, jump, he'll tell you to fuck off and jump yourself. That's what he'd tell you. That's the difference. But nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. It's actually got worse. All the corruption, every fucking place is corrupt. You know. But if you're not in the know in this country, you're nobody anyway. And if you are in the know, it's not going to be much benefit to you either, really, you know, in the long run. But 8 fucking police officers yesterday and 3 or 4 squad cars for little old me. Oh, it's Christmas Eve, you know, have a nice Christmas and all this. And do you think they give a fuck whether you have a nice Christmas or not? They don't give 2 fucks. But on the way home, there was, of course, the ambulance and the sirens and the lights, boom, flying past us on the way home, you know. A couple of weeks ago before that, there was another stop. We had another stop. Stop and search, whatever this stop and search is. I think this is it here. Yeah, that's I think that's it. That was a couple of, I don't know whether you can see that, guys, or not. Stop and search there. A couple of weeks ago again, another stop and search. There's the two of them now. And I have the one from yesterday. It's in the flat as well. Stop and search as well. They don't give you any fucking reason. This bullshit. Oh, it's such and such happened. This happened, that. Stop and search. Stop and search. Stop and search. Now, it was okay. It was grand up until, I suppose, 6 months ago or 12 months ago, and then they started harassing me more and more. Every time now nearly I go down the north, I'm stopped and searched, or pulled over, or either blocked in by an ambulance, or blocked in by a police car, or blocked in by detectives, or something, basically something like that's, you know, I think. But this last, I suppose, 6 months, I have been harassed by them this last 6 months by this stop and search fucking type thing. And if I'm sitting in McDonald's, they'll pull in and park, they'll sit beside me. If I pull into Dunn Stores or something, you'll get the Jeep patrolling round. If I pull into the pound shop, they'll pass down the road. If you're in Asda, you'll see them in Asda, they'll just be parked over. A fella come down right down the centre of the aisle, which he should be on one side, which he should be over on his own side, but he was stuck right in the middle of the thing, and I had to stop the car. I was going to get out, but I looked over to my left, and there was the police situated, parked just over to the left. If anything happened, they were just on the scene straight away. But this last 3 to 6 months, every time I go down the north, it's been stopped and searched. I have been stopped and searched this last 12 months more times. Of course, when you come out, you have a kid flying around the car park, you know, on a, whatever you call it, scooter or whatever. But I have been stopped in the north, I suppose, more times in this last 12 months than I have been stopped up here in this last 5 years. I've been stopped more in the north in 12 months than I have been in the Free State this last 5 years, or 4 or 5 years, or whatever it is. No, but that's not saying, you know, that they won't stop me. If they want to stop me up here, they will, you know what I'm saying. But this is what's, I'm explaining up until now what has happened, you know. But and then it's either that or someone, someone's rings in, going through listening ski, that's Silver Corolla has pointed a gun out the window at me. Oh, then it was before that, it was a water pistol. We were messing about one day with a water fucking pistol, a wee small, this, what was, I don't know what I can say. We were messing about with this in the car going through listening ski one day, this fucking water pistol here. Then there was a big thing about that, stop and search and listen to ski and the whole lot, and ripped the car apart again. And then about 6 weeks before that, we were pulled in and stopped, come up, and questioned about that we were parked up somewhere and someone come out of underneath a bridge and pointed a gun at us, which was absolute more bullshit. But this is the tactics that's going on now, guys. This is the tactics. If they can't get you to commit suicide, if they can't get you to mug someone or kill somebody or do some destruction or vandalize or this or burn somebody's car or burn someone's flat or burn someone's house or do something out of the ordinary, if they can't get that out of you, they'll get the money out of you. They'll by the legs of it, tell you. 6 weeks ago, we were walking down to the car park in Enniskillen. I had no ticket on my car, which I told you before. We were coming up, there was 2 traffic wardens walking down towards the car. Does it take 2 traffic wardens to put a ticket on a car? You tell me. They were walking down towards the car. The wee dog was in the car. They surrounded the car. The wee dog got agitated and started barking and going from the front into the front to agitate the dog. And I told him, get away. Yeah, you've no ticket on your car. I know I've no ticket on my car. I had no change. We were only sitting there. We were sitting there a minute or 2 minutes. But it was another setup. So it takes 2 traffic wardens around in case a car attacks you. There was a big 6-foot lad there, and then there was a smaller lad there, whatever it was anyhow. We got into an altercation or whatever it was. He was at that door there. I was trying to move the car forward. He wouldn't close the door. He wouldn't get out of the way. So I went round and grabbed him by the scruff of the neck, and I pulled him to the back of the car. And then a row broke out, and I grabbed him by the neck again, and the 2 of us fell on the ground, and then the other boy that was with him, oh, let him go, and let him go. I wasn't holding anybody. All I was trying to do was get him out of my car. What was he doing? He wouldn't let me close the door. He was half into the car and half out of the car. All he wanted to do was for me to assault him, which I did. I pulled him out of my car, which I had a right to do, and he fell back or whatever, and I think I had him 2 slaps or whatever it was. He ended up on the ground. The other fella said, oh no, let him up. I let him up. I wasn't hitting anybody on the ground or thumping anyone on the ground. Eventually we got away from them, but they done their utmost through harassment and harassing us and what would you call it? What was it? Antagonizing us. That's what they were at. Eventually we got away, and a couple of days later we were looking for John Muckian, we were looking for Aaron Muckian. This carry on here. What happened, we told them what happened or whatever anyhow. So what we had to do was sign some sort of an apology saying that we were sorry, but we weren't, we were not all at fault over that incident. Them 2 Gestapo traffic wardens started that scenario to cause all this hassle again. If it's not the traffic wardens, it's the ambulances, not the ambulances, it's the police. If it's not the police, it's these, the these trolley pushers around Asda. He actually pushed a line of trolleys into the side, the back of my car. The last time, that boy in the glasses that works below an Asda, he wears a yellow coat. He's about 6 foot tall with glasses on him. I should have went in and reported him to the manager, but there was no damage done as such. But this is what they put you under every day. This is what I'm put under every day. If it's not one scenario, it's another. Every day you'll be put under something. But, fair enough. Okay, if you want to do that, go ahead. But then, why did you do that? And they'll come up with some fucking lame excuse of, oh, you shouldn't hear this, that, and the other, and all the rest of it. And we were actually in the shopping centre a couple of days ago, or whatever, and there was this lad, and he was constantly looking over and staring over at us and staring over at us, and the young fella went over and asked him what he was staring at or whatever, and he hid behind his mammy and his relation the whole way out. Then he came out to the car park and I approached him and I said, what's the problem, or what do you have, you know, or whatever, and oh, let's talk, give us a hug, and I know you and all this and that. Says I, look, I don't know you from Adam, why you staring over us. He couldn't explain himself. He hid behind his mother. Says I, come round here and talk. So he wouldn't leave, he was hiding behind his mammy. And then some other woman come down, I think it could have been a sister or a relation of the woman that was there. But he stayed hid behind them the whole way down the car park. You know, this is the, you know, call you this, that, and the other, and you know, just typical keyboard warrior. You know what I'm saying? That's all he was. I think they said they were from Letterkenny, but you'd be better off believing that fucking Robin out there, or that bold out there, you know, by listening to these telling you they're from Letterkenny, you know. Huh? There might have been, I don't know, so I wouldn't leave them any, but then we went up to the security guard and we were talking to the security guard, and he says, no, yous are not barred. We were just surveilling the situation or whatever. But he said that we weren't at fault. He didn't say that they were at fault either. But we weren't barred from the shopping centre or entering the shopping centre or anything like that there. But there was a big fucking incident with him. He made a big incident over nothing. But try to blame us for this, that, or whatever, or it wasn't us that was staring. We were staring over to him, and we caused this argument match with him and all this. And the security guard said we're only observing the situation. He says, but we have no problems with you, so whatever you didn't cause any aggravation or whatever it was. I don't know what you have to do to be barred out of the shopping centre, but we weren't anyway. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say, guys, I'm trying to stretch here, excuse me. What I'm trying to say, guys, this country is no better off now. It's actually worse off now than it was 40 years ago, because people knew what was going on and what was happening. The same thing, the stalking and harassment was going on then years ago, but I didn't know anything about it until now. Now I don't know, by my recollection of this here, I'd say 4 out of every 5 people in this country knows that it's going on. Excuse me. But the country is no better off. It's actually worse off now than it was 40 years ago. You knew where you stood 40 years ago. You don't know how you stood now. Well, people, you don't know how you stand now. Who's who? What's with who? Who's with who? What groups are together? What's thing? And another thing which has baffled me And I'm astounded and I'm disgusted with the amount of informers, rats, touts, spies, you name it, that's in this country at the minute. I'm disgusted with the amount of people that has gone in there and spilled their guts to the authorities. I'm disgusted. It's a disgrace, the amount of touts and informers and rats and worms and maggots that has or is working for law enforcement in this country at the present minute. I don't know, but that's another story, guys. But if you're poor in this country and you have 2 or 3 jobs, you're going to stay poor. You're going to have your income, whatever you're going to live on or whatever, which I have is a few pounds to live on. I'm going to stay like this. I'm blacklisted. I can't get a job. They'll say get a job. When you get a job, you go into the job, you're treated like a piece of shit. Your work is sabotaged. You know, you're told you were late, you clocked in late, any excuse at all, and you're only in it for a few weeks, and you take this bullshit, and then you're sacked, and then you're back in the dole again or whatever. Oh, get a job, you know. Why get a job when you have to put up with more torture and more shit, with every company and every small company and every big company in this country corrupted to the fucking hilt? Not that I care whether you are or not, you can be, but as long as you don't bring your shit on to me or whatever you have on to me. But all I know, there's an awful lot of people that died for this country that's turning in their graves to see the way that it's turned out now today. If you go to anybody, any TVs or anything like that there any of the day, you're told to go and see the authorities. They weren't telling us that 40 years ago. No. Why are you telling us now to go and see the authorities? There's not a tricolour flying in the north. There's plenty of Union Jacks, but there's no tricolours. Why is that? Explain that. But it's Christmas Day, guys. I'm not going to get into any more. I get into too much at the minute. But the amount of traffic out there it's not right. It's not real. It's more noise harassment. That's what it is. But as I said before, everybody has their stuff done for Christmas Day a couple of days beforehand. You spend time with your family. There's nowhere open, no shops open, or any big soup, anything like that there. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cold. Everywhere's closed on a Christmas Day. You go and see your relation or whatever, right? You don't have 100 cars going up and down the road every 5 minutes. You can see that was them amount of yokes I taped there. I taped there for 5 minutes on that road. You have a pub which is not open here. You have a shop which is not open there. You have Coothill out the road, a small town, which people don't do much shopping in anyway because it's too expensive. You have Monaghan in here, about 8 mile or 10 mile in the road. All the shops is closed. All the supermarkets is closed. Where's all the people going? Why are they all driving around the place like lunatics? You know, is it because... It's not because there's a targeted individual living in the flats right beside the turn on the hill, and the car's gone up and vroom, 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 vroom. Noise harassment, that's what it is. As I said before, I lived on the main Dublin-Belfast road, or beside the shortly off it. You might see 1 or 2 cars in an hour. If you did see that, everybody would be at home with their families, having a few drinks or less. You'd go out onto the street, it'd be like a desert. You wouldn't see one. You might see 1 car an hour. You mightn't even see none an hour. But that's what they're at here. That's the carry on that's going on in Rockcorry, County Monaghan. You know, but we have it up again. It's like we have everything is, you know, you're harassed in the shops, you're harassed everywhere you go, by police force, by ambulances, by everybody, everything. You know. My car broke down there a couple of days ago. I had to call the insurance company to get a lift home. I think it was AXA that took the van home. 100% treated like a normal human being, and got my car up and got my car home, and then they got me a taxi home as well. 100%. I cannot say anything wrong about the removal company or the company that took home the car. The professionals that done their job. Taxi man the same. Well, we're general talking the taxi or whatever, but yeah, there's few fake coughs out of him or whatever, but he knew what it was going on, and we were talking. I said a revolution, that's what we need in this country, and he said no, it's too late for a revolution, and never too late for a revolution. But that's one incident there. It just, I don't know, guys. I was expecting to be waiting for hours. I was broke down, the drive shaft broke. I was expecting to be waiting for hours for them to come out. They were out in 20 minutes. I think within the whole lot, between getting the car loaded, between me making the phone call, getting the car loaded up in the lorry, home, and me waiting on the taxi, and the taxi coming and picking me up and dropping me home, I think everything was done in an hour, in about an hour from Monaghan town. That's, and even less I think as well. So thank you very much for that. They are very professional and nice people. No old shit or no old carry on out of them at all. It was straightforward, professional work, done the work as well. And a week later, what happens? Only the drive shaft broke again below in Enniskillen. Rang the insurance company. I forget the name of the company or the lorries or whatever was who done it. The same thing. I think we were waiting 20 minutes for the yoke to come along, pick us up, dropped us and the car home here. Absolute gentleman that was in the lorry. No bullshit, no nothing. 100% proof, 100% genuine. Up, took us up, desk, the talk, cracked the whole lot, dropped the car off, the whole lot. And the whole lot, I think an hour and a half it took, the whole lot. But why is the difference in that? How is the difference in that? And the difference in me going in to do a bit of shopping in Monaghan town, where there's trolleys pushed out in front of you, you've been stared at, you've been spat at, you've been looked at if you have 2 heads on you, you have been short-changed. There's a certain person working in Mr. Prices that short-changed me 4 times. Tried to swindle me 4 times in the same day on the same action. What is the difference in them out there and these lads here that's absolute genuine, and the likes of them fuckwits out there in Monaghan doing this? Short-changing you, overcharging you, holding you back, blocking you, stuff like that. What's the difference in them out there and the difference in these genuine guys here? How is that? How does it work? How does that work? Them lads and them lorries could have kept us waiting for hours and hours and hours. But they didn't. I don't know, guys. I'm baffled. But there is, since I've been in here, there has been multitude of cars up and down this road here. And that road there, it leads, it's from here out to Newbliss out there, and there's nothing out there. Newbliss is a wee small country road. Nothing on it. Christmas Day, I'm going to take a spin down to the shop here. Christmas Day, you think, you know, spend a bit of time with your family or whatever. Now, I know people, cars have to drive to over and see their families or that, but not to the extent that these cars are driving and flying around the place up and down the road, you know. It's just complete harassment. That's what it is, basically. Christmas Day, sure, there's not a shop open or a house open or not. People has everything done Christmas Day. So they have, there's that blue yoke way down there. But, it's, you know, like, everywhere's closed, like, you know, everywhere is fucking closed. I'm just driving down to the shop here to see what's happening. But this is when you've been stalked and harassed, and then to say there's no stalking and harassing. I'm after seeing about 24 yokes in 5 minutes. I filmed it there. I'm going to put them up, put it up now when I go back. But you know, there's another car way up down there. Oh, they're seeing the relations and all that. The people, the amount of yokes that's on the road, there's no need for them. There's no, it's not right. It's not normal. It's not normal. Now, you might say I'm wrong. I don't know. It's up to yourselves to make use of decisions. But yeah, we have another yoke here above the lights there pulling in on the left. But this is, you know, like, there you have the one hand light there. See that? That's, and then a wave letting on they're a friend of yours. No, they're not. They're no friend of mine. I don't know him. I never seen the car before in my life. I never seen him before in my life. But what the tactic is they wave at you. They say, oh, there's Johnny in the car, give him a wave or whatever. This is to take the bad luck off them. So I'm after proving it there now. The one headlight and the big wave. These ones, I don't. When I wasn't being stalked and harassed, you'd meet in many cars on the road or whatever. There wouldn't be one person that'd wave at you. The only reason why he waved at me was because he seen that I was filming and he had one headlight on his car, which is a typical Stasi type East German tactic this program, the one headlight that they use, I could see 12 one headlight cars in the day, which I proved the accident I showed you started way back with the one headlight. Since I put that video up, I seen you'd see about 10 or 12 cars a day with one headlight. He's after coming over there now, and he has this nice wave, letting on he knows me. He doesn't know me from Adam. I don't know him from Adam. And this is the tactic. This is another tactic to have. To let on that they know you by waving at you. But they no more know you than the man in the moon. And I no more know them than the hole in the wall. And they don't know me from a hole in the wall. They know me that I've been stalked and harassed, all right. But this is the thing to take the bad luck of it to give you a wave. Oh, sure, look at he's waving at him, he must know him, he's okay. No, it's not. It's a tactic that they use to take the bad luck off the scene. You've seen it yourself, the one headlight, the cars, that car is not out there going to visit family, friends or anything. He's out there stalking and harassing and causing anxiety and stress and paranoia in people. That's what he's doing or trying to do. Guys, thanks for listening. I love yous all. Peace out. I'm going to try and stick with it as long as I can. Keep the fight going or whatever. But I'm going to need to get a cup of coffee or something now at the minute. I think I talked long enough. But that's what's happening this last few weeks anyway, or what's going on. I'll try and keep you updated as much as I can. But there has been loads of other minor things going on and stuff like that there, but it's too cumbersome and too small of tactics to be. You can't emphasize and film every small tactic that they do because you'd be at it all day, every fucking day, you know. So basically, the likes of that there, you know, but you know, the usual, the one headlights and the swerving across the white lanes at you, blocking you and trying to shortchange in the shops and all that usual stuff's going on. And then you'll get the bigger stuff like yesterday by pulled in at the police and all that anyhow. Guys, I'll not take us any longer, but thanks a million anyhow. Merry Christmas. Have a good one. Have a nice day and thanks for listening. Bye.